you know what caused Blake Shelton so much humiliation? He quit singing? It's tempting to make this You Think You Know all about Blake Shelton's hairdos, but okay, actually there's gonna be a lot of hair humor here. I mean, seriously, the man has more looks than a drag queen. Blake Tullison Shelton grew up in Ada, Oklahoma, the hometown of Oral Roberts, the evangelist. His childhood was normal, except for one strange road bump that we'll get to. He didn't play sports, but he started singing early. Here he is jamming out to Old Time of Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. Now, if you listen to Blake, he'll say he was already drinking by the time he was able to crawl, but his mother, predictably, says differently. In fact, Mama Shelton says she's never seen Blake drunk. She cuts hair in Ada, so you can credit her for this do and this one. However, Blake was a grown-ass man when he decided to do this, and this, and this. It's not clear if Mama loved the Curly Sue look, but his first record label sure didn't. Blake moved to Nashville at age 17, 3 weeks after graduating high school, and 3 years after older brother Richie died in a car accident. His career was a slow starter. Back home in Ada, he'd played around town some, but his most familiar audience was his buddy Buck. They'd sit around picking on his tailgate the way country boys do. It was 8 long years between his move to Music City and his first debut single on Giant Records. Everyone loved Austin. And let's be honest, when she picks up the phone at the end of the song, it's just such a good love story. Sorry. Buck came along, and with success came an ego.
Went through a period where kind of pushed everybody that was close to me away from me, and
He says his hero Earl Thomas Conley helped him with that, and he learned to be a bit more humble. Soon he was on Toby Keith's tour, and then he was married in a very private ceremony in Nashville. She wore an expensive gown she found on the internet. Blake wore Wranglers and boots, similar to what he'd wear 8 years later. At the ceremony, he performed this Conway Twitty song to her because it was the song her late father taught her to dance to.
May I have this dance with you, Julia?
But let's not linger. Shelton's career was something of a bus ride early on, with years worth of fast starts and stops. He notched a couple of #1 hits, but then struggled to break the top 40 and thought he might be done. Some beats turned things around, but he didn't really start to find success until he began to listen to reason and cut that dang hair off. Note the progression on his album covers. These days the top might be receding a little further than he'd like, but it's working. An impressive streak of #1 hits, an entertainer of the year, a smoking hot wife who's just as talented and successful. The voice on NBC has certainly helped. Along with Adam Levine, he's the star, and they've got quite a bromance going on. Note to Adam, Blake may be cheating on you. Blake has won multiple times. Most impressive, though, is how he continues to work with artists after they're out of the spotlight. He knows what it's like. After all, young Blake Shelton was once judged in beauty pageants. Yep, Blakey and 12 girls would sashay across the stage. That's where this video came from. He was like 6 or 8 and thought the whole thing was so awful and humiliating, he once quit singing. Fortunately, Mama Shelton came to her senses and manned him up a little bit. Do you really think Miranda Lambert would have married a pretty boy? So now you know Blake Shelton. Other things to know about this former roofer: he once had a pet turkey named Turkey who died of heat stroke. He hates movie theaters. He says he cut his hair because people mistook him for Terry Clark. And his first single was supposed to be I Want to Talk About Me, later recorded by Toby Keith. He's also something of a redneck poet. We'll leave you with this tribute to his BFF, Craig Morgan.
As time went on and years went by, we finally met one day. We traded numbers and talked a lot. I wondered if we may be gay.